Hello and welcome to this week's segment of the Lead Minute. I'm Bill Baskin, CEO of ePath Digital. In today's segment, I want to talk to you about your compliance obligations under the Telemarketing Sales Rule, or TSR, which includes the DNC, or the Do Not Call Registry, and the Telephone Communications Protection Act, or TCPA. I want to be clear that this is not in any way to be construed as legal advice, but just a good starting point to help you understand the laws surrounding telemarketing and calling on your leads. I'm often asked, how long can I keep calling on my leads? The standard answer I give is 90 days from the date of the consumer opt-in, as that would fall under the safe harbor of the Do Not Call Registry. Once you establish a business relationship with the consumer, that is then extended to 18 months unless the consumer subsequently opts out and asks not to be called. You would then be obligated to put them on your suppression list. Be aware, there are over 280 million phone numbers on the Do Not Call Registry, which frankly is most of America. To call on cell phones, the Telephone Communication Protection Act, or TCPA, regulates this activity. TCPA requires express consent and informed consent from the consumer before you dial on a cell phone, and the Do Not Call Registry still does apply. Express consent means you have written permission from the consumer to call them on their cell phone. An electronic submission is an equivalent of that. Informed consent means the company that may be calling has to be disclosed to the consumer before they submit their information online. If you are buying lists, you must make sure you scrub out all cell phone numbers and scrub all landlines against the Do Not Call Registry before you dial on that list. The fines for not doing so can be huge and may result in a class action lawsuit or regulatory action by the FCC or the FTC. If you buy leads from ePath Digital, we take care of all these compliance requirements for you and make sure your company is listed on our website, and we also document the express consent and a waiver for the consumer's participation in the DNC. Failure to comply with these laws could result in a fine up to $1,500 per phone call. Not just to the complaining consumer, mind you, but to every call you made to every cell phone. The fines can get huge. There have been judgments in the tens of millions of dollars in these class action lawsuits, so really pay attention to this. TCPA has become the latest boondoggle for the professional litigant class who's looking to extort your business. So you better understand and ensure compliance processes are in place on every lead you buy. Express consent documentation must also be archived for 5 years from the date of submission. Make sure your data sources can show you how they comply with these regulations, how they archive the express consent, because all that is designed to protect you. I also recommend Googling both the TSR and TCPA to further educate yourself about these laws if you make outbound dials to anyone. If you'd like more information on leads and the compliance processes here at ePath Digital, click on the banner above to speak with us to learn more.